Hello, everybody. Today I will be reviewing trades from April 14th, which was yesterday. I completed 18 trades for the entire day, and I will be reviewing 5 of those trades that include Trade Desk, Netflix, Tesla, Apple, and Boeing. These trades were my most profitable of the day, and I thought maybe you would find those to be the most interesting. Um, right off the bat, you can see that I had a pretty good day overall. Made $2,266.23. You may also notice that I had this very random spike down. You can just ignore that because I was trading the stock shop, and the price action on that stock is really all over the place. And so, I bought, and then within minutes, it made it seem as though I was down $1,500. That's just because the implied volatility on the option spread is just all over the place. So, I don't consider that to be very accurate because it quickly changed in the other direction, even though the stock price barely changed. So it looks as though I was down a lot, but I really wasn't. I think I lost about $60 on that trade. Um, so not terrible. I should probably stop trading shop though. It's a little bit too much for me. Um, so going back to the start of the day um, with Trade Desk, Netflix, Tesla, Apple, and Boeing. Um, those were all completed in the morning, and so I will be reviewing those stocks from the order that I placed them. So let's see here. For for those that aren't aware of my trading style, I day trade options with a technique known as scalping. I use historical trend patterns that are unique to each stock to help guide me with my decision making um, as to when to enter a position. I use the 5-minute charts provided by Robinhood, and that's all that I use to complete my trades. So, what you're seeing right now is the Robinhood app, and this is literally all that I use to trade every day. The charts that are within Robinhood are the only charts that I use to make my decision when entering a position. So it's my hope with this video and future videos that I might be able to provide some insight into my trading technique. And with that, let's start with Trade Desk. So with Trade Desk, I'm looking for at least a 2.5% change before I execute a trade. This percentage is primarily based on historical trends that I've seen with this particular stock, and on average, a 2.5% change is usually followed by a quick reversal in the stock price. So if you look at when it opened around about $232, and within minutes, it actually jumped to an intraday high of $239. Excuse me. So it jumped up rather quickly, quicker than I thought it would, actually. Uh, so it was already up um, in the pre-market, and then it went up another 3.2% or so within just a few minutes. So because it had passed my percentage point that I was looking for so quickly and abruptly, I decided to take a position at 9:34 a.m., which was within that first 5-minute increment of the day. Now, sometimes I'll wait to see if maybe it develops another leg beyond that first leg that it just developed. But this move was so sudden that I felt pretty comfortable buying right near the open. Um, but again, I could have been wrong. It could have just kept going. It could have went up another second leg. That's just the risk that you take with trading stocks and options. At the end of the day, you just don't 100% know what's going to happen. But I'm using the best information that I have based on just patterns of this particular stock. And so I went up that level that I was comfortable with, and I decided to enter that position. I purchased 8 put contracts at a price of $7 each, with a strike price of $235 and an expiration of April 17th. The stop price when I purchased was around $239, which was near the intraday high. Um, and then at 9:40 a.m., you'll see that it did retrace back from where I had originally bought. The charts that on here are 100% accurate because I bought at 9:34 and it's making it appear as though it was already down. But I actually had bought right at the high before it ticked over to the new 5-minute increment. Um, and then it quickly went back down, and then around 9:40, I actually sold my position at a price of $7.65 for a total profit of $530. And the stock price when I sold it was around $235. So the price difference from when I bought and when I sold the stock price was about $4 difference. So again, with Trade Desk, it's very common to see a big jump in the stock price followed by a quick reversal. This is most commonly seen from 9:30 to 10:30 when the market is usually the most volatile. So that was Trade Desk. Next, we will move on to Netflix. I've been really liking Netflix lately. I feel like I've been getting a good rhythm with them. Trying to figure out the percentage changes, and it seems like consistently in the morning, like most stocks, when they're most volatile, it will see these rapid declines or rapid gains, followed again by a very quick reversal. So, and usually you'll see about a 1.25 percentage change in these jumps or declines before you'll see it reverse. So the stock opened at around $397.50, and within minutes it actually jumped to around $404. So you see pre-market was around $397.50, but it actually did open up around that price, and then it jumped up to $404. Again, this chart on Robinhood doesn't quite show that peak, but it did jump up to $404, and I bought around 403, which was around a 1.4% change. So given that it jumped to the percent change that I was looking for, I decided to buy looking for that quick reversal in the stock price. So at 9:37, I purchased 4 put contracts at a price of $7 each, with a strike of $400 and an expiration of April 17th. The stock price, again, when I purchased, was around $403. At 9:39 a.m., which was only 2 minutes later, I sold these contracts at a price of $7.40 each for a total profit of $160. The stock price when I sold it was around 401. So again, this chart that I'm trying to show you right now doesn't quite provide in great detail the changes in the price that I would like you to see, but it occurred very quickly. It was a 2-minute trade, and so from 9:37 to 9:39 is when this all occurred. So you'll see that it jumped up. It was at its peak within this 5-minute increment, and then it went down a little bit, And then as you can see, it actually went down even more, and I could have made significantly more, but you just never know if that's going to happen. It could have easily went the opposite direction. I'm just looking for that quick profit, get in, get out, and move on to another opportunity. So again, I made $160 on this trade. Very happy with how that went, and I moved on to Tesla. So with Tesla, man, Tesla has been very volatile lately, and as you can see in pre-market here, it's up another $24. So it looks like another crazy day ahead for Tesla. Wow, that is a sharp movement. So it's been tricky trying to trade Tesla because of how volatile it's been, but I've been a bit more cautious than usual. On average, usually when I'm looking for with Tesla, if it's not being so volatile like this, is around a 1.25 percentage change. But again, I was very cautious with Tesla heading into trading uh, on April 14th, yesterday, because the past couple of days have been very volatile, and I just didn't know what to expect. It was being pumped a lot by analysts with really high expectations, um, and it was already up over 7% in pre-market, and so it was difficult to say how it would react when the market opened. I didn't want to get caught too badly in a short squeeze if that were to happen. So I knew going in that I would only purchase around one contract to minimize my risk. Usually I might purchase, at least 2 or 3 contracts, but I just didn't quite feel comfortable enough to go beyond that. So I stuck with only one contract to see how I would do. So at open, Tesla actually retraced a little bit down to around 705. So it went from 715 to 705. And that right there, I could have easily jumped in and bought a call, thinking that, okay, it was being pumped, it probably would move higher. Might as well just jump in because it did make that percentage change down, so it would likely go back up. But again, I just didn't feel comfortable. I had no idea how it was going to react. I kind of wanted to see how it would play out a little bit longer. And so from 935 to 940, it did jump up quite a bit, actually, over 3%, which is a really good move. But I didn't buy because it had too much juice behind it. So I figured maybe it would have another leg in it before maybe it would retrace a little bit. So from 940 to 945, it went up another 2%. And at this point, on average, I think at this point, most stocks will retrace maybe just a little bit after it has made a movement upward of at least 2 legs. And so you had the first leg at 935 to 940, and then I made a second leg from 940 to 945. And so I made the decision to buy one put contract at around, let's see here, at around $735, hoping that it would have a quick reversal because it had already gone up 13%, 2 legs formed, and so I wanted to see if maybe this was the time now for it to reverse back down just a little bit. So I purchased the one put contract at $32.50 with a strike of $7.25 and an expiration of April 17th. The stock price when I purchased, again, it was around $7.35. And then 1 minute later, I ended up selling this position at $34 for a total profit of $150. And the stock price was around $732 when I sold. So the difference in stock price was around $3. And so that is what resulted in the option price change, enough for me to make a nice profit of 150. So that, you know, it did what I thought it would do. Excuse me, but it could have easily just kept going. I mean, this thing has been so volatile that I could have got trapped, and maybe it wasn't the smartest play, but um, I went off of patterns that I typically see with a stock. Is that the two legs, it did make that percentage change that I was looking for. So I thought, okay, this might be a good opportunity to go in. And so it did work out well. I was fortunate. Um, but this is exactly why I get in and get out. I'm not going to gamble for too long. I make a profit and then I leave. That is exactly why I stick to that technique, because you can get burned very quickly if you try to hold and look for more of a profit, because what will end up happening more often than not is that you lose the initial profit you made and then much, much more. So I just don't even risk it. I just get in and get out. So that was Tesla. And then we'll move on to Apple. With Apple, the percentage change I'm looking for is actually probably less than any other stock I look at. It's usually like right around 0.60 to 0.75% change. If I see that it goes up that amount or if it declines that amount, then again, I'm looking for that quick reversal. So similar to Tesla, though, today or I should say yesterday, I was cautious on entering too early because Apple had actually received some encouraging news about March iPhone sales. So it would likely have some good momentum at open. And it would probably build on that momentum for around 2 or 3 legs upward before starting to see it reverse briefly. So I'll just kind of walk you through this because it went on for about a half an hour. So from 9:30 to 9:35, it went up about 0.5%. From 9:35 to 9:40, it went up about 1/4%. From 9:40 to 9:45, it went up close to 0.60%. From 9:45 to 9:50, it only went up about 0.1%. And then from 9:50 to 9:55, it went up another 0.60%. So it was building some legs most of the morning, and it actually did meet the percentage threshold at around that 9:40 to 9:45 5-minute increment. But I didn't buy at that time because it was during the second leg, and I just had a feeling it was going to go up at least one more leg before retracing, just because it did have that momentum. The whole market was going up. I just didn't feel like a good time to buy. So I decided to wait just a little bit longer to see if it would build another leg, and it did. And about 10 minutes later, I entered a position because it had been about 30 minutes since open. It didn't have much of a reversal within those 30 minutes. It just kept going up, 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 up. It had already met that percentage change I was looking for, and so it just all added up where it was probably going to reverse at some point here, and at which point it did, fortunately. So at 9:54, which is right around near the top, within that first half an hour of trading, I purchased 10 put contracts at a price of $5.05 with a strike of 285 and an expiration of April 17th. The stock price when I purchased was around 285.50. At 9:54, which was about 1 minute or less, I actually sold 5 contracts at a price of 540, and then at 10:01, I sold the remaining 5 contracts for a price of $5.30 each, for a average um, of $5.35 that I sold them at, and a total profit of $300. The stock price when I sold was around 284, so that would be around $1.50 price change from when I bought to when I sold. Actually, what I haven't done yet was just show you the order. I probably should do that. So here's the actual order. So again, you'll see bought 10 at 505, and then I sold 5 at 540 and sold another 5 at 530 for an average of $5.35. So that was Apple, and last we will look at Boeing. So this one was a pure momentum play to the downside. Boeing had received some negative news during trading about a significant amount of cancellations of their MAX 737. So this contributed to that big decline that you saw from around 1040 to 1105. In the past, when Boeing has gone down sharply like this, it usually pops back up a little, which is not uncommon for any stock to do it if it suddenly changed direction and stock price. So I was basically looking for that dead cat bounce followed by a continued decline. So I was just waiting for a good opportunity here. So at 1105, from 1105 to 1110, it did attempt that first bounce, but it only went up around 0.80% before it declined again by 0.60%, and that just wasn't much to go off of. I had a feeling that it was going to have that nice jump up, that nice big leg up, that wouldn't have much support because it was being dragged down so heavily by all the downside momentum. And then you'll see that from 1115 to 1125, it jumped up over 2%, which was a pretty big move. And that was enough for me to feel comfortable that, okay, that was a little bit of a jump that was enough to see most likely a reverse. So at 1125, I purchased 8 put contracts at a price of $6.05 each, with a strike of 145 and an expiration of April 17th. The stock price when I purchased was around 145. At 1125, which was about a minute or less later, I sold these contracts at a price of $6.30 for a total profit of $200. The stock price when I sold was around 143.50, which means that from the time that I bought and sold, the stock price changed to $1.50. This was one of my quickest trades of the day, and again, I'll show you the order. There it is. So as you see, bought 8 contracts at 605, sold 8 contracts at 630. But again, this one was a pure momentum play. You'll see this pretty commonly with any stock that sharply declines. With news, it will have that little bit of a dead cat bounce, and then it'll gradually decline again, which is exactly what Boeing did. It declined, and then it finished off with a session low. You'll see that all the time. So I could have theoretically, having that knowledge of, how stock usually works when it has that sharp decline followed by an upward tick, that it will likely go back down. I could have just stayed in it, but I don't feel comfortable because you just never know what's going to happen. General news could have came out for the entire market to shoot back up, and it could have trapped me. Anything could have happened. So I get in and I get out. So those were the 5 trades I wanted to show you today. Again, that's because they were my most profitable, my most significant trades of the day, and I think it most clearly demonstrated my trading technique. So total profit of the day, again, it was $2,266. Earned year to date is $71,607. So it's been a great ride so far. I feel very fortunate that I'm in this position that I'm in. Um, and that's all I have today, everybody. So thanks for watching. I hope this information was beneficial in some way. Feel free to email me at my website or comment on this video, and I will respond to each and every one of you as soon as I can. And I will continue to do my best to provide these videos as often as I can. Um, but sometimes it's difficult for me because, I have a family and time is not always on my side. And spending time with my family is very, very important. So, once I'm done training for the day, it's all family time. So, the reason I'm able to do this video right now is because it's like 5 in the morning. I'm the only one up. Uh, and so I figured I would put a video together. So, thanks again for everyone for your support and for watching today. And I will see you next time. Have a great day.